If the internet could build a guitar, it would probably be shell pink, have gold hardware, and a roasted maple neck. Vola's taking care of all of this. What's going on, my friends? It's your old pal Sean Pierce Johnson here, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are having an awesome week and are ready for an in-depth look at this absolute stunner of an instrument, the Vola Oz JRM J1 Julien Rosenthal signature model. I have had the pleasure of getting to know this guitar over the course of the last month because Vola Guitar and I are partnering for some videos on their YouTube channel. And since this is the first one of this model in the United States, I figured we might as well go for an in-depth look at it on my channel. And I have to say, Vola has stunned me again with just how good their guitars can be. I'm not gonna wax poetic on this just yet because we need to talk about specs and hear this thing. So let's jump right into it and talk a little bit about it. The body and neck are very classic tone wood combinations for the Super Strat style. We have an alder body and a roasted maple neck, which I absolutely love the look of the combination of the shell pink color and the roasted maple neck. But one of the cool things, the little accent that I really enjoy on the back of the neck is how they have this little nod to the vintage world with a skunk stripe, which I don't actually know what kind of wood it is. It might just be, you know, a slightly less roasted maple. It might even be something else. The spec's not on the Vola website, but I just really like that little vintage touch. The neck is the classic S-type scale length of 25.5 inches with 22 frets, which I greatly appreciate. The neck shape, though, is sort of a new thing that Vola has done. Whereas their previous models were maybe a little bit chunkier, this is their new modern C-shaped neck. It's a little bit thinner than the other Volas that I've looked at in the past, and so it sits a little bit more comfortably in the hand. But you pair it up with a 12-inch fingerboard radius, you kind of get this best of both worlds thing with a nice thick neck, but a flat fingerboard, meaning you've got plenty of wood to grab onto when you're fretting your chords or your solos, and you're gonna be able to play no problem, bend the strings high as much as you want. It's just an all-around wonderful feeling neck to play. The shell pink is then accented by gold hardware in the form of a Goth 510 bridge, a whammy bar, a vibrato arm, not a tremolo, and Goth locking tuners with gold tuning keys at the top of the headstock. We've got one string tree, bone nut, pretty classic thing, but we really get into the versatility of this guitar when it comes to the electronics, so let's break it down. Now, at first glance, the electronics don't look terribly different from any other HSS style guitar that is currently on the market today. A master volume, master tone, 5-way blade selector for the pickups, and the pickups, of course. A humbucker, single coil, and single coil configuration, all Vola designed. The bridge humbucker is a VHC, and the single coils are VSI single coils. These are all designed by Vola, made by Vola, and put into their guitars, and I think they sound fantastic. But there's a couple key additions that really up the versatility of this instrument and allow for some tones that you might not get from a normal HSS guitar without some serious modification. First is this small 3-way toggle switch located between the volume and the tone knobs. Now this is connected to the bridge humbucker and allows you to get a series or parallel humbucker sound, or tap the coil to get single coil style sounds in the bridge position, meaning at once you could have a normal bridge humbucker and go to the neck single coil, or you could have a parallel humbucker for a little bit more of a spanky humbucker sound, and then go ahead and go into position 2 and get this really cool, quacky, but a little bit more fat than your typical S-type guitar sound. It's pretty cool. And then of course, tap it, and you have the classic S-type pickup configuration. But the one I really love is this little button right here. It's a little push-push button, and it is connected to the neck pickup. And what you do with this one is if you're in any pickup position that doesn't have the neck pickup, like with just the bridge or position 2 with the bridge and the middle position, you can go ahead and press this button and you can add in the neck pickup on top of that. So you can effectively turn on all 3 pickups or even get like a Telecaster style middle position with the bridge and the neck pickup. All these options make for an incredibly versatile guitar with a ton of tones for you to explore. And so why don't we go ahead and explore them? The first thing we're gonna do is just check out some raw, clean, and crunch tones into the Hughes and Kettner Black Spirit 200 for cleans and the orange Rockeverb 100 for some dirt. hopefully what you've just heard has given you a good idea of just the kind of sounds that you can get, that you can now further manipulate with all the gear you have at your disposal. As for me, it's going to be a ton of pedals and whatever amplifier I choose to play through at a given time. So why don't we go ahead and do that? A few cool sounds that I've conjured up and really enjoy using a few different pickup combinations and a myriad of different effects. Don't worry, whatever I use pedal-wise is going to be on the screen for you. If you enjoy the tones, you can recreate them for yourself too. my friends, is our look at the Vola JRM J1 Julien Rosenthal signature model, a shell pink gold hardware beauty of an instrument that sounds and plays as stunningly as it looks. Now, shell pink and gold hardware is kind of the in thing right now. Everybody seems to be wanting a shell pink guitar. Every guitar company seems to be putting out a shell pink guitar. So what really makes this one different from the rest of the pack? What really is at the core of this instrument is the electronics, the playability, and how good everything sounds together. I have found so many cool tones that make me feel like this is kind of what I would equate to the session guy's guitar. All these different cool clean tones and dirty tones. The neck is something that I can play very, very easily. Open chords, power chords, triads, big old leads up at the top of the fretboard. There's just so much that you can do with it, and everything generally sounds pretty darn good. Vola does a great job of designing pickups, and I often find myself feeling like I can get a little bit more out of the tone knob with them. It's almost like a little bit more high end than your typical pickups, so the fact that I can play with the tone knob is very cool. But there are a couple little things that I want to mention in case you are interested in one of these guitars. I don't feel like there's a whole lot of range to this volume control. Now, I don't have too much experience with HSS guitars. I usually am an HH or a 3 single coil kind of guy, so I don't know if it's just the compromise in volume pot values for humbuckers and single coils, but I kind of feel like if I turn it down below 6, I'm really losing a lot of the vibe here. But other than that, I'm almost always on 10 and manipulating the gain staging and leveling with pedals, so it's really not that big of a deal, but if it's something that if you're a guitar player that likes to work with that volume knob a lot, you might want to keep in mind. The last concern I want to bring up is in regards to the Goto 510 bridge. Now, this is a non-locking whammy bar, so it's going to waver in and out of tune naturally. You know, you can set up a guitar as best as you want, but if it's not locking, it's not going to stay perfectly in tune. And I did find a few issues with tuning stability early on, within the first couple weeks of getting this guitar. And that could really be anything from going through different environments in the shipping process to me having these big ham hands and hitting the guitar really hard and this being strung up with light gauge strings. But in the ensuing weeks, that tuning issue has gone away, but I still find myself only really wanting to use this particular whammy bar for some subtle vibrato and not just dive bombing all over the place. Having said all that though, this is an absolutely stunning instrument to look at. It is a fun instrument to play. It is versatile, it is beautiful, and what more could we want from a guitar? And it's really one that I don't want to have to give back to Vola, but I probably will. And that means one of you out there might end up buying this guitar, which means we would have played the same guitar, which is kind of crazy to think about. It's a traveling instrument. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this look at the Vola JRM J1 Oz Julien Rosenthal signature model. I certainly had a lot of fun making this video for you. And if you have any questions about this guitar or you want to let me know your thoughts on it, please use the comment section below to do so. And there are a few ways that you can help support this channel and keep it growing. Give this video a thumbs up, share a link to it with a guitar playing friend of yours, and of course, clicking the subscribe button and ringing the notification bell. However, there's a better way that you can support me and the work that I do, and that is by heading to my official website, SeanPierceJohnson.com. If you scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, you can sign up for my brand new email newsletter. That way, every time I upload a video or write a new blog article to hopefully enlighten your day, you will get a link to it directly into your email inbox without having to combat the algorithm and YouTube ghost unsubscribing you from channels, which apparently is a thing now. But anyway, I want to thank you all for spending part of your day with me today. I hope you enjoyed yourselves, and until we see each other next, I am Sean Pierce Johnson, wishing you all out there great tone, great health, and of course, happy stomping. Cheers, friends. God bless.